How successfully do refugees integrate into their host countries, and what political challenges does this process present? This question is more than just a topic of debate. It's a critical issue that governs the lives of millions and shapes the geopolitical landscape. Yet, it's one shrouded in misconceptions. Many believe that integration is a one-way street, where refugees must adapt to their host countries without any reciprocal effort. But in reality, it's a two-way process, requiring both the host community and refugees to make adjustments. Furthermore, it's not just about language proficiency or job skills. It involves complex factors like social acceptance, legal rights, and political representation. In this video, we'll take a case study approach to untangle this intricate web. We'll delve into real-world examples, analyzing the unique challenges and successes each presents. By doing so, we hope to shed light on the complexities of refugee integration and its political implications. Let's dive into the heart of the matter, beginning with our first case study. Germany, a country known for its open-door policy towards refugees, has faced significant political challenges. Let's dive into the heart of Europe, where Germany, a beacon of hope for many seeking refuge, has grappled with political hurdles. Since the height of the refugee influx in 2015, Germany has been home to over 1 million refugees, a figure that is both staggering and illuminating. With such an influx, pressure on public services has understandably increased. Schools, hospitals, housing, all these key infrastructures have been tested to their limits. Imagine a classroom already bursting at the seams, now having to accommodate additional students who might not even speak the language. Or consider hospitals, where resources are stretched thin to provide care for an expanding patient base. And then there's housing. With the housing market already under strain, the arrival of refugees has intensified the competition for affordable homes, fostering resentment among some locals. This has, in turn, led to a rise in anti-immigrant sentiment, a dark cloud that has loomed over the country's political landscape. The political arena has not been immune to these tensions. The rise of far-right political parties, such as the Alternative for Germany, is a testament to the changing political climate. Their anti-immigrant rhetoric has found a receptive audience among those who feel marginalized or threatened by the influx of refugees. The social fabric of the country has been tested, and it's clear that integration is not just a logistical challenge, but a deeply political one. But it's not all gloom and doom. Despite these challenges, Germany has made significant strides in integrating refugees. From language and integration courses to employment initiatives, the country has shown a commitment to ensuring that refugees become a part of German society. It's a delicate balancing act, trying to reconcile the needs of the local population with those of the newcomers. Germany's challenges underscore the complexity and importance of effective refugee integration. The journey is far from over, but as Germany continues to navigate these treacherous waters, it serves as a reminder of the political challenges that must be faced when opening doors to those in need. In contrast to Germany, Australia has taken a different approach to refugee integration, opting for an offshore processing system. This system, established in the early 2000s, involves intercepting asylum seekers who attempt to reach Australia by boat and transferring them to processing centers on remote islands. The intent is to deter people from making the dangerous ocean journey, and it's been both praised for its effectiveness and criticized for its harshness. The political challenges this system faces are multifaceted. Internationally, the United Nations and human rights organizations have condemned it, arguing it violates international law. They point to the conditions in the offshore detention centers, which have been criticized for overcrowding, inadequate medical care, and even instances of abuse. Australia has countered this criticism by emphasizing the need to protect its borders and maintain control over immigration. Yet, within its own borders, the offshore processing system has been a subject of intense political debate. Parties on the left have called for its abolition, arguing it's inhumane and costly, while those on the right defend it as necessary for national security. The legal challenges have been just as complex. There have been numerous court cases challenging the system's legality, both domestically and internationally. The most notable of these was a case brought before the Australian High Court in 2016, which upheld the system's legality by a narrow margin. However, subsequent legal challenges continue to keep the system under scrutiny. Statistics further underscore the system's controversy. While it's true that boat arrivals have drastically decreased since the system's implementation, the human cost is significant. As of 2023, there are still over 1,000 people in offshore detention, some of whom have been there for over 7 years. Australia's offshore processing system demonstrates the political challenges that can arise from different approaches to refugee integration. The Australian example shows that while a policy may achieve its intended effect, it doesn't necessarily equate to a solution without significant political and human costs. Our final case study takes us to Turkey, a country that has experienced one of the largest influxes of refugees in recent history due to the Syrian civil war. Turkey, straddling Europe and Asia, has been at the forefront of the Syrian refugee crisis. Since the outbreak of the civil war in Syria in 2011, Turkey has opened its doors to over 3.5 million Syrian refugees, making it the largest host of Syrian refugees in the world. This influx has presented an array of political challenges. For starters, managing border security has become an increasingly complex task. Turkey shares an 800-kilometer border with Syria, and keeping it secure while providing safe passage for refugees is a Herculean task. The situation is further complicated by the presence of various armed groups in Syria, raising concerns about potential security threats infiltrating with the refugee flow. The refugee crisis has also been a source of political instability within Turkey. The sheer scale of the refugee population has strained resources, leading to tensions between the host communities and refugees. There have been instances of social unrest and protests, putting pressure on the government to manage the situation. Moreover, the crisis has had significant implications for Turkey's foreign policy. The country has found itself in a delicate balancing act, negotiating with other countries for support and aid while maintaining its humanitarian stance. But it's not all gloom and doom. Despite the challenges, Turkey has made some notable strides. It has implemented policies to integrate refugees into society, offering work permits and access to public services. Yet the road towards full integration is still long and fraught with obstacles. In closing, the Syrian refugee crisis in Turkey is a stark reminder of the political challenges that can surface when a country becomes a major host for refugees. It highlights the need for international cooperation and comprehensive policies to manage such situations effectively. The Syrian refugee crisis in Turkey illustrates the political challenges that can arise from large-scale refugee movements. Having examined these 3 case studies, it becomes clear that the political challenges of refugee integration are multifaceted and complex. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered. The German open-door policy, for instance, presents a dichotomy. On one side, it's a testament to the country's commitment to human rights, showcasing a willingness to provide refuge to those in need. Yet it also illuminates the political hurdles that come with such a policy. The strain on public resources, the rise in right-wing sentiments, and the struggle to balance humanitarian efforts with national security are all potent challenges that Germany faces. Now let's take a leap from Germany to Australia, where the offshore processing system offers a stark contrast. Here, the political challenge lies in the conflict between deterrence policies and international legal obligations. The question becomes, how does a nation protect its borders while also upholding human rights principles? This is a delicate balance to maintain, and Australia's struggle is a stark reminder of that. Finally, let's look at Turkey, home to the largest number of Syrian refugees in the world. Here, the challenge takes on another dimension. How does a nation cope with such a massive influx of people? How does it ensure social cohesion while also dealing with its own internal political dynamics? Turkey's experience highlights the strain on infrastructure, social services, and the potential for societal tension. Across these case studies, we see common themes: the strain on resources, the balance between national security and humanitarianism, the conflict between national policies and international law, and the challenge of maintaining social cohesion. These are the challenges that not just these 3 countries, but nations worldwide grapple with when it comes to refugee integration. Indeed, the question of refugee integration is not just about refugees, but about the political systems and societies that host them. As we conclude, it's important to remember that the question of refugee integration is not a purely academic one. This topic holds real-world implications that stretch far and wide. The political challenges of integration are not isolated incidents, but rather, they echo across global landscapes, affecting countless lives and societies. The decisions we make, the policies we implement, they don't just affect lines on a map, they impact real people with real stories. Informed debate and policymaking are paramount. Every person, every community, Every nation has a role to play. From understanding the complexities of the issue to making informed decisions, every action matters. We must remember that our choices today will shape the world of tomorrow. In the grand scheme of things, these challenges remind us of our shared humanity and the need for empathy, understanding, and cooperation. As the world continues to grapple with the issue of refugee integration, the political challenges discussed today will continue to be of vital importance.